Well, we are live now. Let me see whether we have viewers. We shall wait for a minute and then we'll start because this will be recorded any which way. Yes, we have a viewer. We have more than one. That's great. So, like other live programs, we are not really going to wait too long. We will start it because we are going to have the recording of this so people can watch later. So, Namaskar, good evening to all our viewers. My name is Pratik. A very warm welcome to our first episode of India Educates Presents Education Adda with Pratik. We are live on the official Facebook page of India Educates and YouTube channel. If we face issues with YouTube streaming today, we will upload the video on YouTube recording in a day or two. There have been continuous requests from many of our students, their parents, and our partner educational institutes that we become regular with our broadcasts. We have started trying our best to honor those requests. The moment we think about education, we become extremely formal about it. And this very formal atmosphere at times creates distance between a learner and the learning. But if you think of it, we naturally learn so much in our day-to-day life, don't we? This Adda or Hangout will be just an extension of that. We will have many scholars and experts on our shows, have meaningful conversation with them, and I promise at the end of every episode, you will feel empowered and educated. I hope I am audible. Oh, we have a lot of viewers now. So, as I was saying, uh, in today's episode, we are going to discuss a topic that is burning and have impacted every parent's some way or the other. The ongoing pandemic is continuously leaving its scar marks in our lives. Parenting in the times of COVID-19 is now faced with many new challenges. So today, we are going to discuss parenting during pandemic. Your questions on comment section are most welcome. Today we have two very special guests with us. They are looked up to by many students and professionals. And incidentally, both of them are my friends. Please welcome Miss Ashmita Lahiri Mitra and Mr. Santosh Sharma. So let me get them on screen. Hi Ashmita, welcome to
Hello,
our
Pratik.
Adda.
Thank you so much. It's a lovely opportunity. So people who are into education, they
Great.
love to connect. So it's great.
And thank you so much for taking out your time. That's lovely. All right. Now let me add my next guest, another friend of mine, Santosh, Mr. Santosh Sharma.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Hi, Pratik. Hello, madam. This is Santosh.
Hi, Santosh. Hello, Santosh.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi, Pratik.
Now let me just add here that uh, is proud mother of a son and a daughter. Santosh is a proud father of a daughter and a son. And I must tell you that, today it's a big day for our dear friend Santosh, because Santosh's daughter has scored whopping 98% and has become a school topper in ICSE exam. So
That's
congratulations,
excellent.
Santosh.
Congratulations. Yes, must
Thank
be a
you.
big moment.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So now,
Thanks a lot.
without wasting much of time into the big introduction, we will straightway get into a discussion. But definitely, I mean, my viewers, they must be waiting for a little more introduction. I will definitely come to that. But let us first start with questions, our discussions, and then we will get into that. And I just now saw that Ashmita is sipping on her hot cup of tea or coffee, or could be a soup. Now that tempts me to have my one, and bit of opportunity to uh, brand our
Plums.
organization as well.
Yes. So how come we do not get these cups? That
All
can be
right.
the first question.
I've got one.
I couldn't follow.
So I asked,
I've
how
got
Oh,
come?
one
acha,
cup of
Ashmita is
India
asking
Heritage.
that how come you don't have that?
Yes, how
All
come
right,
we
you will
we
get
don't
it.
have
Don't worry.
we would have flaunted as well.
You'll surely get it, Ashmita. Don't worry. And this is a promise online, so you can come
Excellent.
back later and say that,
And
hey,
yes,
you told me, it's on record.
yes.
All
And then
right.
Santosh is also here.
Okay. So yes, yes. All right. Now, Santosh, how is the mood at home now?
Great. I mean, people are happy. She did work hard, and I think it's a fabulous day for all the students because the students were waiting for the results. And on behalf of all the students, I congratulate ICSE to come up with the results in spite of all the odds. I think students should not, talk too much about the
Yeah.
marks or the percentage because it's just, it's just
Hmm.
it's too early. And as you graduate and as you, grow in life, you'll realize that these marks are just sheets of paper. What is more important is learning, and that is more important.
Hmm.
And if students learn, I think that's wonderful. I mean, the marks does not make much of a sense to me still.
Yes. So I think I would begin with this question, since it's the time of uh, results. Just few days back we had results of Madhyamik in West Bengal. Then that is secondary examination. Then Ucha Madhyamik, that is higher secondary examination, and all the boards of Delhi, they have also started uh, releasing their results. Now, uh, if you follow the social media, if you follow many offline discussions as well, uh, we often see that the students are badly trolled, right? So uh, now there is huge stress amongst them. Now, my question to Santosh, that what is your suggestion how to deal with this stress? uh, this is pertaining to the stress of these results. Now, this is for the students of uh, class 10 and class 12, as well as students in general.
See, the most important thing is, in India, we have too few institutions and we have too many students who wants to get into those institutions, those premier institutions. And because of this, marks are important, right? Just because of this, nothing more than that. What is more important is
Mhm.
your learning, your quality of learning, following your passion, following your purpose, and that is more important. And over a period of time, you'll realize that your purpose, passion, mission, all these things are more important than these marks. So I would say that these marks are
Mhm.
just the entry point, and that does not guarantee you anything. In my various lectures at the IIMs and IITs,
Mhm.
I've seen students finding no meaning in those marks. So students should not take stress on what percentage, and even parents should not take stress on what percentage their wards or their kids have got. What is more important is whether you are
Mhm.
engaging them constructively, and that engagement is actually making them learn new things and taking them closer, every step closer to their purpose, because that is what is important. And if students are taking daily steps, small steps also will work, but daily they should take small steps towards their purpose. And if they're able to do that, I think it's wonderful. The stress is an additional burden that the society creates, the relatives create, the parents create, and students, the peer pressure of students, they create it all by themselves. So rather than manufacturing stress, we should manufacture happiness, and that is more important. So let's get into the habit of manufacturing happiness, and you're doing away with stress.
Okay, now as you say that manufacture happiness, uh, in line with your statement, my next question will be how to keep these students or these children motivated in this stressful time.
Yeah, Pratik, it's a wonderful question, and I would say that many parents are finding it very difficult to spend time with their kids in at home. But I would say that we should take it opposite. We should take it as an opportunity where you get time to gel with your kids, and this is the best time where parents and kids, they are there together. I understand parents are not able to give time, mostly those parents where both of them are working. But I think it's a wonderful opportunity for parents and kids to gel together, to come together, because many of the parents are also working from home, and the parents can show the kids what exactly they are dealing with in office, how to handle pressure, how to deal with different things, how to do various work. I've seen many parents, they say you do this, you do that. We don't engage a student in taking decisions. We give them a decision and we simply ask the students to follow. Rather than doing that, we should discuss with the students, we should engage the students into taking decisions. We should give them the real scenario, that this is the scenario, this is the positive, this is the negatives, this is the opportunities, these are the threats. Under these conditions, what decision should we take? And if we are able, if parents are able to engage the students, engage their kids constructively, I think that's the best way to keep them motivated. What parents tend to do is that they tend to take a shortcut, and the shortcut is they'll say that, okay, you do this, you do that, rather than telling why they should do that, why, yeah, what is the reason, where will this decision take them. So all these things, when communicated with the kid finds it more meaningful, and they see the big picture. When we say that, okay, you do this, and we keep quiet, we don't tell them how to go about it, how to do it, then the students get lost, the children get lost. And it is here that they lose track, and they lose disconnect, they create a disconnect with the parents and all. So once we are dealing with kids at this point in time, I think we should be engaging them into constructive things, into meaningful things, have some fun time, play some small little games inside the homes, engage into that relationship between the parent and the kid. Ask the kid that they can face these pandemic, how they should overcome, how they should convert it into an opportunity. Not just tell them that convert into an opportunity, how to convert them should also be communicated. So engaging the students constructively is going to make a great sense and will keep them motivated.
I think that's a great point. That uh, creating an opportunity out of this. That's a great point. We have to drive home. So next, I would like to ask my question to Ashmita. And Ashmita, we have seen these days that kids are getting addicted to various gadgets. So, uh, what would be your suggestion that you are a parent yourself, and you have seen a lot of other kids, they are getting extremely addicted to various gadgets. So, how to control it?
See, when we say that they have to get out of this habit of this addiction of gadgets, we cannot just say it. We'll have to give them alternatives. So, what can be the alternative? Those are the things we need to plan. For example, I'll kind of say similar things as Santosh has said. For example, you get some indoor game like a carom board, chess, ludo, whatever. Have a family time every day. Make it a habit that during this time we will have this, indoor game together, and let the kids look forward to it. And then there's another thing that is reading habit. So if you inculcate reading habit in kids, that's pandemic, no pandemic doesn't matter. But it's going to stay with them and it's going to be so great. Another thing is, it's like not only giving them alternatives, but they have to be motivated, right? So if you give them some responsibility for the household chores, for fixing their own breakfast, then fixing the laying the table before meal time or anything, and after they do it, they get appreciated. Because kids, I deal with small kids at school, and then I deal with a little bigger one at home. So they love to be appreciated by parents, because they always, in the subconscious, they always want to make their parents happy and proud. Well, they might not consciously, they might not even understand that, but always in subconscious, they would want to make the parents happy and proud. So give them responsibility, have them do it, and you know, you make them feel appreciated that, well, you have done great job. Then another thing that you can do is, another alternative can be, you connect them with nature. Now, not all of us stay in a big house where we have a garden or something, but even if you're staying in a small place, in a small flat, you can have just one plant. You just can give one particular plant to your kid to take responsibility, not for the other ones. This is your plant, and you have to take responsibility of this. So it not only connects the kid with nature, but it also make him feel responsible for somebody else's growth. That we feel responsible for our kids' growth, they will feel responsible for the growth of the plant, right? So it's kind of connect. For smaller kids, say for 5 years to 13, 14 years, they can make scrapbooks. So when they are like in regular offline times, they make their scrapbooks, they take them to their friends, and the friends will write certain things and blah blah. So now these 2 3 years, and we still don't know whether the pandemic is going to get over very soon. These 2 3 years, why wouldn't you reach out to their friends or distant family members, have them have the questions, have them write the answers, have them send you back online. You print it out and give it to your kid, and let him make the scrapbook. You can dance, sing, exercise. See, you can do all sorts of things, but the thing is, there cannot be one portion for every kid. The portion for my kid might not work for your kid. The portion for your kid, there cannot be any magic portion for kids. So maybe your kid gets enthused by dancing. So dance doesn't matter. You have to be a good dancer. No. But you can just play a music and then dance like whatever. It's for your betterment. Because if you want to, as a mother, what I feel, if you want to make your family, your kids happy, the first and foremost thing is you have to be happy. Unless you are happy from inside, you cannot give the vibe. And exercising, singing, dancing, these are lovely things. And another thing, like we are going to discuss loads of things in this line, but the last thing that I would want to say, I probably come to this point again and again, that don't preach, you practice it. If you have a leisure time, you keep on Facebooking and WhatsApping and blah blah, and you're asking your kid not to do that, that would not work. If you want your kid have vegetables, you cannot always have chili chicken and praise, wow, this is a great thing. No, you have the vegetable, you love it. You boast it, wow, vegetables are, it's making it strong, I love it, and the taste, wow. So, because these are all subconscious things among human beings, the instincts that every kid wants to follow the footsteps, want to be like prematurely, want to be like the father or the mother. So if my mother likes this vegetable, it has to be good. So it's like how trading system started. That this thing is expensive because my neighbor think it is. My neighbor think it is expensive because his neighbor think it is. So that's a simple way. You don't preach, you practice. Everything will fall in place.
I think they are brilliant suggestions, Ashmita. And the long and short of the story is that you have to stay invested. You have to give time, right?
See,
You just
absolutely.
cannot just go on complaining that
No,
fine,
no,
hutsala,
no,
hutsala,
no,
hutsala,
no,
hutsala,
no, 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 no,
right?
absolutely. Actually, you see, when
Yeah,
these sort of questions come quite regularly to me, and what I also think, what I also once heard somewhere, and I really like that, that once, if you don't want to become a parent, it's excellent, it's your choice. But the moment you decide to become a parent, it's like a 20-year project. So between the project, it's a 20-year project for L&T. In the meantime, L&T cannot say that I don't want to build a bridge, I'm too busy in something else. No, you cannot do that. Similarly, as it was your decision, you have to be invested. And because you are, end of the day, I want to feel happy about my decision. I want to feel about, doing something that I'm doing. And that is where I say that you yourself have to be very happy about what you're doing. It's not a job, it's a pleasure. Not everybody has it. Once you have it, enjoy. And it's such fun that that drives your day and drives your life.
right, Ashmita. Now, another problem, I guess, that we all are facing, that, other than the online classes, uh, students are extremely engaged with a lot of screen time. So what is the ideal screen time a student should have other than their regular classes?
See, that also depends on age. If a 5-year-old gets like 20 minutes per day, a 14-year-old might can get 1 hour. But every what they say in studies, that every 20 minutes, even if you're getting 1 hour screen time apart from your studies, every 20 minutes you have to look away, like at least 20 meters. So it's like you just so that your vision is not affected. And another thing is, it's not only about one has to have media time, screen time. As I was telling you, that you have to give them alternatives. So once you give them alternatives, there would not be much time for them to watch something, to be either through phone or the tablets, because it not only is a problematic thing for the eyes, but these screen times are a monologue system. Whatever is being, the characters, whoever is saying whatever in the screen, you're just listening. So every day, every single day, you're losing the capability to answer back. Because no mobile phone, you just play rhymes, nursery rhymes. The mobile phone is not going to ask you, how are you, Pratik? So that you have to answer that I'm fine, thank you. So it is actually, it's not only taking away your eyesight, or it's bad for your ears and all these things, but it has a deep impact on your brain. So it's not that you have to have everyday screen time. And it is a tried and tested method at my home. I can tell you, it can be done. So, but again, I'll say that if you want to give them screen time, give them, make them earn it, make them feel happy about earning it. Every Friday night, make it a movie night. You watch, all of you watch together. And if you're watching together, make the kid decide what we are going to watch together. So let it be his or her decision because he has earned it. He'll feel happy about earning something. You're boosting without even like doing some extra work. You're boosting his ego. Like, well, I have done something good and done something great, and that doesn't have to be study related. That can be anything good in any aspect. Your son comes to you and tells you that I know that this person doesn't have much economic support and all. I want to help this person. So any sort of community service, your son or your daughter comes up and conveys. Well, they have to be awarded in the way they want. So they don't have to. This is something because lots of time parents ask that how much screen time they should have. Why should they have? There cannot be much. There definitely are things which are there in the internet that are helpful, and you need them for your everything and for your growth and everything. But without that, also there are ways you can evolve as a person. So you don't have to have. For me, you know,
I
make
think
them
great
earn
points,
something.
Ashmita. Yeah, so like
Yeah.
these are easy things, I mean, the concept like earning your screen time and things like that. And trust me, Ushmita and Santosh, I am thoroughly enjoying this discussion. It actually feels like an adda, and like-minded people discussing things which are very close to heart. And I truly believe that our discussions will drive a lot of useful points home, whoever is watching. And I am happy to read one comment from Dr. Amalindu Basu. He says that discussions must be very useful for the students in this pandemic situation. Indeed, thank you for your comment. And I request all our viewers, and there are quite a number of them at the moment, I request, if you have any question for our experts, please ask them. We are happy to take your question. Okay, Santosh was quietly listening to Ushmita. Now, let me come to Santosh. But before that, let me introduce Santosh Sharma. As I told that, I will give the introduction a little later. Okay, so he's the author of bestseller Dissolve the Box and a consultant to some of the Fortune 500 companies, Navratnas, and MNCs. He's the founder of the Happy Tribe and loves to cultivate constructive and innovative thoughts, emotions, and actions in people. He was given the Social Entrepreneur of the Year award by Ernst and Young. Uh, I'm sorry, by Eastern Chamber of Commerce, Alankar Award by the Tata Group, Star Citizen Award, and Youth Icon Award. And he's a visiting faculty to IIMs, IITs, and also ISB. So I had to do this because Santosh otherwise wouldn't allow me to do that. He gets extremely embarrassed. And even I know the same thing will happen with Oshmita, but I have to let our viewers know that who these people are. Okay, so Santosh, I guess you are done with your bit of embarrassment. But that's you. You're doing a great job. And Santosh, my question to you is, due to online mode of education, the studies of kids are being highly affected. How to balance their learning?
Okay, now, yeah, before I answer this question, I would love to tell you that kids love games, and they are getting engaged in a lot of games. So if we are able to convert this energy, if we are able to channelize the energy that the students are using as a consumer, if we are able to convert this energy and make them a producer of games, then I think a lot of things opens up. A child learns a lot, and he or she is able to use the time more constructively, because in that learning, in that shift from a consumer to a producer of those games, the child learns a lot of coding, the marketing, the various aspects of it. So I think we should always focus on shifting the child from being a consumer of whatever is being offered on the on the screen to a producer of that. So a lot of energy gets constructed. It gets used in a very constructive manner. Now, how the students' education is getting affected. Let me tell you that pre-COVID and post-COVID, the things are going to change. There are certain advantages of online learning and certain disadvantages of it, and the best would be a mix of both online and offline learning. So I think post COVID, online learning is not going to vanish away just like this. So online learning and offline learning will both coexist, and I think this would be the new model of learning, where some things that that does not need a lot of research, or something that does not need a lot of explanation, can be understood in online learning. And offline learning in colleges and schools would be through the social interaction there, the teacher or the professor talking about some particular subject, some lab assignments, and so on, practicals, and so on. So I think the future is going to be a mix of both online and offline learning, and we need to learn and live with it.
But Santosh, this pandemic has to end one day, right? And students have to go back to schools. Now they are absolutely used to the comfort of this online learning at home. At least the students of India. Maybe it's a different story of Bharat. All right. Now, do you think that this transition is going to be very difficult for them? How to cope with that?
Yeah, certainly for 1.5 years. For 1.5 years, the students have not gone to school. But I'm also seeing a fatigue. Online fatigue is also catching up with students. And now, if you see my kids, my son is in standard 6. Now he's missing his friends. I mean, he's all there in the comfort of the home, but he now wants to interact with the outer world because he's getting bored out of it. So this boredom is going to push the students from the home to the school, and the difficulty in transportation, the weather conditions, and all that would push them to their homes. So the push and pull will happen, but I think it is important for students to come out of the homes and explore the world, get in interaction, you get in touch with your friends, with your teachers, with your neighbors, and discuss things, because that is a very important aspect to grow. It will help you to think differently. You'll be able to have different perspectives of the people. So I think it is that this push and pull is going to be there. A little bit of your mental conditioning, and a little bit of motivation to move out and join school. The positives, if we make the students or your kids realize the positive stories in school, so that will pull them to the school, and that would be the right way to go ahead.
Okay, and we must mention here that everything when the conditions are favorable. When
Of course,
Santosh says that
I
it's
was
important to
just
go out,
yeah,
so
I was just going through the news today. 3 states have already,
yeah.
are already planning to open up the schools. So I would say that before
Mhm.
sending the kids, the parents should talk of the positive stories that happened in school, and they should talk of the teachers, the fun with the fun time at school, and all those things, interacting with friends. So these will be the so this will be the carrot that will actually pull the students to the school, and it will help them interact and develop social skills which they have missed all this time.
Right. All right. So now I will go to Ushmita, and this is her turn of introduction. Now, Ushmita, you like it or you dislike it, but I have to introduce you. But I have to introduce you that way. Well, um, Miss Ashmita Lahiri Mitra is an earth scientist by training and education is by profession, and the founder principal of the play school, the Caterpillar Clubhouse, Kollan. Ashmita has an outstanding academic career with national scholarships at 10th and 12th standards, as well as for her undergraduate studies. She did her BSc and MSc from Jadavpur University and Masters from University of California, Riverside, USA. Ashmita is a loving mother of two wonderful kids who are 10 and 14 years old. She is passionate about nurturing behavioral, nutritional, health, hygiene, and educational well-being of children. She has spent the last 9 years guiding young minds not only through the preschool program but also beyond the boundaries of a traditional education system. Ashmita is an avid reader, a constant learner, and has taken multiple online courses on nutrition, vaccine, teaching methodologies, etc., from leading universities across the world like Stanford University, Pennsylvania State University, University of Jerusalem. She has nominated as the inspector. She was nominated as the inspector for the ICSE year 2021 examination for 9 centers of Noida district. Ashmita is a managing committee member at Don Bosco School, Bandel, as a parent representative. So that's about uh,
Now
Ashmita. Ashmita ekdom laगे लगा. So, Ashmita, before I ask you a question, I see there are there is some comment. Uh, Utsha Maiti has written that this discussion is very useful for us. So wonderful. Now, I would request all the viewers, if you have any question regarding parenting, please feel free to ask questions. Okay. Now, um, Ashmita. Now, we have been talking about, and in your last answer, you spoke wonderful things about, how to stay engaged, how to earn screen time and all those things. So, my question is how to maintain the disciplined routine of the kids as they are at home for such a long period.
see, whenever I talk about these things, I am sure not many parents like, because I always think and I always say that practice before you preach. So if you want to make a routine, you make the routine, you follow the routine first. If you have to have your kids follow the routine, you have to be the first person to follow it. And you start your day with positivity. Now, when we say you start with your day with positivity, this is something we find everywhere, right? But how? For example, if your kid has an online class, school starts from 8, he doesn't have to wake up at 7. Let him wake up at 6. You too wake up at 6. You get freshen up. You keep at least half an hour to 45 minutes. You do exercise. You play some music. And music has this capability of lifting one's mind in such a way. And if you just do light exercise and do it together, you cannot say that I'll watch while you exercise. You do it together. And you feel happy from inside. And the positivity that you have generated, the vibe will be, there. And your kid will also, return back the vibe. And also, if you have the time, you sit and ask your kid at least once or twice a week. You can do that. That is there anything of their interest for that week that they'd like to do? That can be cooking, that can be washing. You might be thinking that the household chores when they became so useful for kids, but kids do like kids do like to imitate their parents. And now, being at home, parents are having to do all these works, right? So if they want to imitate their parents, they would love to do certain things that their fathers do, that their mothers do. So ask them, or a story session that you two do together, whatever that is, make a routine. The main point is have something for them to look forward to. Then another thing is make a habit every day to take them to the terrace or to the nearby park. Now, when I say nearby park or playground, you definitely have to know that whether that place is being frequented by lots of people or not. Whether there are few number of people, few number of kids, and if your kid is going to have the precautions, everything. But make it a point every day to stand under the sky for some time, half an hour, 45 minutes, like this. Similarly, at dinner time, you have a discussion session. Dinner time is a time that you have spent all your day and you have spent it wonderfully. And every week or every, twice or thrice a week, you can have a particular topic that you will all discuss. Maybe you talk about Ramanujan and his life story, maybe his, discoveries. Maybe you talked about a play of Shakespeare that was in your curriculum when you were a kid. But the kid has to look forward. That is the main thing. And also, you have the indoor games that I already told you. That a routine for having indoor games. Definitely, you make the plan. Waking up at this time, from this to this, you study. Your school is there. Then there'll be a free time. You do this. You can do this. You have all these options. You choose from this option. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but there are options. Well, if your kid says that I want to skydive, that's not possible. I mean, within those limits, of course, but have him or have her choose between what he or she wants to do, and have, if possible, if your parents or parents-in-law, they stay away, if possible, have them over. Because at home, when we are also dealing with this extra pressure of work, staying at home, doing the household chores, doing our work from home, we are also stressed at times not to have the leisure to sit and chat and talk with our kids. But grandparents do wonder, and the comfort zone that they create. So if possible, request them, plead them, because you wouldn't believe the effect of grandparents in your kids' life, particularly this time when they're stranded at home. And of course, a habit of reading storybooks, reading all these together. So you make the routine, you yourself follow the routine and make a habit of doing that. But if also you make a routine, there has to have a day when they'll have this window of not abiding by the rules. Because the rules are very important for me. If you have the routine, if you're organized, things are quite easy. So you can do all these things. But if there's only rules, that might not be that interesting for your kids. So let that be Sunday, let that be Friday. Friday is not possible because your kid will have their online classes. If that is a Sunday, they can wake up a little late. They can have their breakfast, something that they generally don't get. They can play the games of their choice. So have the routine, you follow the routine, but also at the same time have the window for them when they don't have to maintain the routine.
Okay, we are getting some questions as well. We have Nirmal Boshak asking that my daughter, 5 years old daughter, always asking when she will go back to her school. Please suggest what to do from my side. Ushmita, would you like to answer that question?
Yes, sure. See, when we think that whoever is asking this question is 5 year old, what do we think that we'll have to answer somehow? And then she's just a kid. It's okay. For the time being, I'll give her a toy and she'll be okay. I would not approve of that. From beginning, if you treat your kid as an adult, well, definitely you are not going to discuss certain things which are not her or his age specific. But overall, the mode of interaction that you are on the same platform, you're equal, then things become easier. For example, if a boy of 18 years wants to jump from somewhere, you wouldn't say that don't jump from here. What would you say? I mean, if you jump from here, you might get hurt. If you get hurt, we are there to take you to the doctor. We are there to give you medicine. We cannot take your pain. So if you make this habit to discuss with your child, even when they are 1.5 years old, you think that they're adults because they have your evolved genes. They are not dumb. They are smart. So if you sit with them and without giving them the grim picture of what's going on, but telling the story of what is actually going on, but there is a light behind the tunnel. So this too shall pass. Maybe not in a month, maybe after that, but this too shall pass. And what we're going to do there, these are the things to look forward to. But in the meantime, when we are stuck at home, we will do these sort of things together. And we are going to send this to your teacher as well. And she is going to be very happy. So you have to give the sense of positivity rather than giving them the grim picture that so many people are dying. How can you go to the school? You know what are the problems of going to the school? No. We will certainly, whenever you're being asked this question, you tell them that certainly you'll have to go to the school because you love your school so much. You remember that day, what happened in your friend's birthday, blah, blah, blah. But now it's like a problem. You know, you're a big girl. You understand the problem of pandemic. There's a slight problem, but we are definitely going to go.
Brilliant.
Maybe not
Thank
tomorrow.
you. And yeah. Yes. And I'm so happy to see that, we are now live on both YouTube and Facebook. So we are having a lot of audience, they are watching us live, though this would be on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube. So you can watch them. And after this, if you want to, refer to any of the points, because they have shared some wonderful ideas. And we see a comment of on YouTube that Devjani Basu says that, very good discussion. Thank you so much, madam. And here I must add, that we want to have this kind of Adda every week. So whether this 9 p.m. suits everyone, we would like to know. So viewers, please let us know. Mr. Nirmal Boshak has thanked as well. Okay, you're welcome. And another thing that whether we should do twice a week, you can let us know that as well. What should be the ideal duration? Because this is our first Adda, and the numbers that I can see that number of people who are live watching with us, that's incredible. So this is very, very encouraging. And to them, India Educates is committed to this kind of causes. And we are into career counseling, we are into admission counseling. So numbers are there on the screen. You can note it down. You can call us. You can consult us. And we have a lot of talented friends like Ashmita and Santosh. So if you want, we can have even a longer workshop on the issues like parenting, right? So Ashmita, my next question is again to you. Now we are already 49 minutes into the program, so we have to speed up a little. So my next question is, do you think that we should get this very young ones, like the 2 years or the 3 years one, get admitted into preschool? Should they join preschool?
See, when we think about preschools, what we actually want from our kids is they'll mix with other kids and they'll learn sharing, they'll learn to stay away from home for some time. And these are all because just for learning, as I say, just for learning twinkle, twinkle, little stars, we don't send our kids to school, right? But at the same time, another aspect is there for a preschool is when a kid learns something and the kid tells you the answer or shows you something, then he or she gets applauded. And getting applauded in front of other friends, it's a big thing for kids. Now, in online schools also, if you have one-to-one interaction, I mean, it's a Google Meet or something in a meeting form, if you have interaction, definitely you're going to learn certain things. But at the same time, if you are being, like the kid is being applauded in front of other kids, it's a motivation for them to go back and do the thing. But if you are thinking of preschools, I would say check what the preschool is offering. Apart from the basic math, basic English, whatever the kid has to be taught, or the rhymes and all, there has to be storytelling sessions. There has to be craft sessions. These are to unwind, and little kids, they look forward to these sort of sessions. And also, you see, we also send our kids to preschool because the conventional schools, they have to get to the conventional schools, and all the conventional schools now, they're having the regular admission interviews. So you have to prepare the kids. You have to prepare that if somebody asks you something over your phone or laptop, you have to answer. You have to maintain this decorum, blah blah. So grooming is definitely important. And also with that, as we already discussed, routine is very important. This pandemic might end, but if your kid is out of the routine, then it will be difficult for you to get him back to the routine. You can homeschool, but if you can homeschool with a proper routine, that every day we're going to do this, having this lesson plan and all, excellent. Then you might not need to. But only thing is, you will miss on the interaction with the other kids. You will miss on seeing your friend, which is also very important.
Great. Now, let me quickly read few comments. Anirvan Roy writes that it's very good discussion, and this will help us and our kids. Ruplekha Chaudhary writes that very enriching discussion. So now I will go to Santosh and ask my next question. Santosh, how to deal with the tantrums of the children in their transition period from childhood to teens, the teenage?
Enjoy it, yeah, because you cannot expect children to be adults, right? So enjoy at times, and at times, guide them, mentor them, but don't just give instructions that don't do it. Many a times what we have seen is, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. So this and that, when we tell our kids not to do this and that, what happens is we are not allowing them to think. We are not allowing them to, explore. And this is stopping the creativity in the students. This is stopping the creativity in kids. So some amount of, if an egg breaks, don't touch the egg, it will break. So for that 5 rupees of egg, you are spoiling your child's, you are stopping your child to be creative. You're stopping the creativity of your child. Let it break, yaar. 5 rupees ka anda hi to hai. Let it break. Not an issue. The child will learn what will happen if it breaks. Right? If you don't allow that child to break that, many a times, should I touch this candle? Should I touch this candle? At times you hold a hand, you take it closer. You take it closer. Don't, and ask him or her to pass it also very fast. The child will learn from it. Ensure that there is no damage, but keeping all those precautions in mind, allow the child to explore new things. Allow the child, to explore everything that he or she wants in and around the house with all the precautions in mind. Don't stop it. And as far as tantrums are concerned, kuch tantrums honge, you should enjoy it. You should, be a part of it. Ensure that, the child learns from his or her tantrums too. Because there's a lot of learning from that. ठीक है, उसको करने दो. If that child is, wanting to do something, allow him or her to do it. Allow him or her to learn what happens if he does this. Because stop it, stop it, stop it, don't do this, don't do that. The moment we tell this, we are we are actually killing the child's creativity. Let's not do that.
Excellent, excellent. I guess a lot to learn from there. I guess all of us are on the same page because Ushmita was also mentioning about certain things. We have to keep remembering that that we have to practice before preaching. So that's very important. At times, we forget to do that. So and only stopping would not do. Let them experience things and learn from there. So it's kind of a discovery learning for them. So Santosh, my next question to you, that there are certain disturbing news that we get to read these days and come to know from various sources that since a lot of students are exposed to online medium now at times they are uh, getting hooked to adult contents. So how parents should be dealing with it, how they should be careful about it. What is your suggestion to parents?
See, any online, online, the moment the child is online, I mean, he or she is exposed to each and every content that is there, on it. Once, we allow the child to be a part of the decision making process, the child understands what he or she is doing, what are the positives, negatives, and all those things the child learns to about it. Now internet has become it is just a reflection of a society. If the society is not matured, if the society is is not evolved, so is the internet and so is the content there. So education is the only process. I was teaching my son, as I told you, he's in standard 6, and in standard 6 there is a chapter on on flowering plants and flowers and the reproduction in plants. So what I did was today, I mean, I'm just talking around 3 hours back. What I did was, along with teaching him the reproduction in plants, I created a similarity of how the same thing is done in human beings, right? How reproduction is done in human beings. So once we are, teaching our kid, aligning them with what they have learned in different parts, the child will now be more matured when he or she, understands, how the reproduction takes place in human beings. So education is the only way where we can, ensure that. And spying is not the way. I will not go that spying is the way. You put a lot of chips on that and you see what are the contents the child is seeing. Okay, that is important, but that is, the first thing is that allow the child to take a decision as to what he or she should see in the internet. That decision making capability has to be given to the child. You cannot be spying the child all throughout your life. So ensuring that the child takes the right decision is what is the key thing that the parent should do. And for that, education is a must.
Ushmita, would you like to add anything there?
Well, as I deal with smaller kids, so I think it's also along with what Santosh has said. First thing is there shouldn't be much hush up about it. That what my kid has watched this and all. But the more you hush it up, the more is human instinct to explore that. So don't you have a fair discussion? Don't be judgmental. Have a fair discussion, and the discussion is, see, it's all about evolution. We have to evolve. For you cannot give a hot and spicy food to an infant, but when that infant becomes a teenager, you can give them the food because the body has now evolved. Similarly, there are contents, age-specific contents. If you have them prematurely, it's not going to be great for yourself. So you, from the beginning, it's not only during the teenage, from the beginning, one has to, as parents, what we have to do is put the sense of right and wrong in front of our kids. There are certain things which are universally right. A blind person crossing the road, you help the person, it's universally right. A blind person is going and then you make him fall, it's universally wrong. So there are situational right and wrong, but I am telling about all these universal right wrong things. So you put those things in front of your kids, you have them choose what they want to choose. But as smart parents, what you will do when you talk about the right thing, you will say it in such a way that automatically it will be your child's decision to pick the right thing. You're guiding, you're not telling him, you're not imposing, you're guiding your kids to take the right decision. So, as Santosh said, that always imposing and spying and all might not help much, because you cannot keep on spying your kids all through. But if you can make the sense of right and wrong from a tender age, that's going to be excellent in every aspect. So you have to tell them that premature thing is not going to help your body, not going to help your mind. So just wait, you'll have your time.
Great. Great, thank you. So let me read few comments. On Facebook, Ruplekha Chaudhary writes, couldn't agree more, Santosh. Mr. Bikramjit Sharkar writes, a very good discussion for us. Thanks to all, especially Ashmita ma'am. Now, I don't know who is this, but the ID is Kitu's World. This discussion I like very much. It's very much useful for the children also. And he or she gives a thumbs up. All right, that's wonderful. Now, we will go for a rapid fire kind of a thing. So don't get tense that, অস্মিতার মুখটা দেখার মতন হয়েছিল. So don't worry that this is not going to be that special something with somebody on a certain channel. So this is not going to be that kind of a rapid fire, because we are going to ask certain questions which have come from various parents on our social media. So we are going to ask those questions and for quick answers. All right. There is this question from Oishi Basu from Uttarpara. Oishi Boshu. My child who studies in class 4 doesn't want to get up on time for his online classes. What to do? Ashmita, you have covered a bit, but would you like to answer that question briefly? Very quick. 1 minute answer.
As I have already said, you don't preach, you practice first. And the second thing is, you wake up early and the entire day you boast, wow, I woke up early, I had so much of time, I felt so good about it. And also, if the kid is small, for class 4, so if he has a favorite character from the family, from the cartoon, make up stories. Parents can always make up stories and scripts, Doraemon or whatever the kid likes. Definitely wakes up early, otherwise how will he be able to do all these things? So you boast about your habit, they'll certainly imitate you.
All right. So absolutely on time. And Ritoshri Vishas says that, Ashmita ma'am, you rock. All right. So next question I would like to ask Santosh. And Santosh, this question comes from Pooja Gupta, Dom, Kolkata. My daughter studies in class 8. During her online classes, she turns off her video and starts playing games on her mobile. Please help me how to deal with the situation.
Yeah, I mean, there are two parts to it. One is from the student side and one is from the teacher side. As far as the teachers are concerned, I've done a lot of research on what content the teachers are sharing on the on the platform. Let me tell you that the content as of now is very boring in most of the cases. In most of the study that I've done, it's the first time that the teachers are upgrading to an online thing, and they were pushed into it in a hurry, and they were not matured enough. The teachers were not trained on it. So the online content has to be very interesting, because if it is not interesting. We are not seeing the body language of the students. The teachers are not able to see the body language of the students. There is no eye contact. So a lot of problems are there in the present. And I'm sure that it's going to evolve. And online you cannot deny it. So from the teacher's point of view, I would love them to to call the names out in between, so that the students are connected, the students are aware, awake. And from the students' point of view, we need to tell them that this is the mode wherein we need to focus on, because this is going to open up the field of your learning. And the students needs to be told that this is the way the teachers are also exploring something new. So you need to help the teachers out to make it more interesting, participate in the discussion. The students and teachers should get into a discussion. It should not be monotonous. It should not be one way. So all these things will add more focus to it. But the most important thing is the student should know why he or she is actually attending the class. Most of us, we don't tell this to our students, why she's attending the class. What is it that she's going to learn out of it? The teachers, the parents, they'll have to tell the students that this is what is the outcome of this class. Once the purpose is not defined, once the objective of the class is not defined, it becomes very difficult to focus on. You remember that I told you when you asked me for a session, I told you what is the purpose of this. So once the purpose is defined, your thoughts are aligned. Similarly, for every class, the parents, the teachers, everyone should align with the student. They should tell them that this is the key takeaways from the class. This is what is expected from you. Monologue nahi hoke, dialogue hona chahiye. So this is something that will keep the interest going on. And of course, at times, taking names keeps the students awake. There has to be a lot of discussion. Projects, whatever has been taught should be given as projects, so that the students are getting engaged, on it. So these are few strategies that can be tried on, and I'm sure it's going to create more interest in the students.
Fantastic. Now, Nirmal Boshak says, good discussion. We will wait for next session. Thank you, Mr. Boshak. We would also look forward to have many more sessions. Be with us. Like our Facebook page of India Educates. You can, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon for regular notification. And do share this information. A lot of other parents need to know about our services, right? And see, we cannot advertise. We are not such large organization that we will put out ads anywhere and everywhere. So if you spread the information, a lot of other students and parents would be benefited out of this, right? Okay, so Pritha Roy says that, hi all, this is much needed topic of discussion at this time, both for the parents and students. Though I am late to join, I'm sorry for that, but I got to listen to our dear Ashmita Di and Sir too. So, Miss Roy, I have a suggestion for you. This would be available on our Facebook page, and we will upload this on YouTube as well, so you can replay it and you can be part of the entire discussion. Okay. Mundrita Mukherjee says, knowledgeable discussion, helpful for every parents. Thank you so much, and stay with us and be with us. Okay, we are going to our next question now. This is a question from Neeta Roy, Srirampur. My 8-year-old boy was interested in studies earlier, but now he doesn't want to study at all. What to do in this situation? I would like Ashmita to answer this. And remember, this is rapid fire.
See, I think this answer already Santosh has given from the teacher side, from the parent side, right?
Yes.
I just want to add just a bit of thing that if your boy is 8-year-old, and in case from the teacher side it's not being possible for some reasons, from these constraints to make things more interesting, you try to do it at home. The projects, they're teaching something in geography, you try to do the project with him. Probably you might not get the time to do it every day, but once a week you might get the time. First. And the second thing is you share with your kids. that, you know what, when I was kid and I was great in studies, I loved studies and all, but there was a time I didn't want to. So relate, you tell him the story that you relate to your childhood, and then you come up with a story how you got that over. So it's about showing the kid the light behind the tunnel. So there is hope. This too shall pass. So it's that. The rest, Santosh has covered wonderfully.
Right. So the next question, Ashmita, if you can answer that. My wife and I are both working in corporate sectors. Due to our busy schedules, we can't spend much time with our 6-year-old daughter. As a result, she is becoming addicted towards mobile phone. How to deal with this? Though you have covered, but if you can just quickly remind.
See, it's very important for kids to have human company. It's absolutely fine as parents. If you have work to do, you don't feel guilty first. You don't feel guilty about it, and out of your guilt, don't give another device to your kid. But without the guilt, you try to arrange for somebody. If the grandparents are available, like if they are there, or get some human company, because your kid is a kid, right? He or she will need the company. If you're not there, somebody has to be there to play, to do certain things, hands-on things, coloring, drawing. He or she should have somebody to appreciate whatever she is doing. So you have to have some company.
Great. Now, next question is to Santosh. Santosh, my son studies in class 9. Recently, he has become very short-tempered and aggressive. Please help me as to how to guide him. Salim Mia from Lucknow.
Oh, great. He's turning out to be an angry young man. But, this is the age when, you'll see children becoming more aggressive because, a separate identity is now getting developed. And, they are trying to convince, they are trying to put in their point. So it is here that we should talk to them and we should tell them that, okay, you have a point, but there's a better way to put that point across to people. Because once you are short tempered, then, you avoid a discussion. So if you can enter into a discussion and if you can put your point across, then probably, the you'll be able to put your point across in a much more interesting way. The other thing is there is a problem with parents also. What happens is, the parents always want that, they forget their childhood when they were in standard 9. When I was in standard 9, I remember even I was getting aggressive because I wanted, my ego was developing. That was the time when a separate identity was developing and I was trying to, uh, uh, put in my point across. So the parent should also give, if parents give space to listen to the child before he becomes aggressive, and then rather than telling, "Nay, don't do it," rather than telling this, explaining that if we do this, then this is the outcome. If we do this, then this is the outcome. If we do this, then this is the opportunity. If we don't do it, then this is what is going to happen. So if we are able to explain, if we are able to enter into a dialogue, into a discussion, then this aggressiveness in kids will slowly go down. So I would suggest the parents will also have to evolve, and we will also have to manage the students in the sense that we need to get them into a dialogue, into a discussion. Now, another thing is very important, that we should tell the biological and other aspects of the thing to the child also. That if you get aggressive, if you get short-tempered, then these are the changes that the body will do, and you'll not be able to take wonderful decisions. And you should give some examples of his case, wherein when he got short-tempered, and because of that being short-tempered, he ended up taking a wrong decision. So those cases will help him, to develop it. And you should not use these cases to prove him that he's wrong. So your idea is not to prove him wrong or her wrong. Your idea is to get him aligned to the to the big thing, get him aligned, channelize his energy into a discussion rather than being aggressive. So that should be the objective. If we are able to do that, I think, with the combined effort of both parents and students, I think we can handle it. I myself was very aggressive, at 9, where, as I told you, and I understood, the problems of being aggressive and what wrong decisions we take when we are aggressive and short-tempered.
Great. I think that was great insight. And the next question, possibly the last question, and the question is from Bangladesh. Ijaz Khan writes, as my 10-year-old daughter is not able to go to school for the last 1.5 years, she misses her friends very badly and feels lonely. How to keep her motivated in this pandemic period? I am not going to take this to any one of you because this has been already answered, discussed at length. I would request him to go through the entire video. He'll get not only answer of this question, we'll get answer of many other questions. And here I see that, Appu Yadav writes, very good discussion, sir. Tumpanath writes that, it's me, Pratikda. Okay, I understand. It's you. All right. So, if we have to sum it up, I guess this is not that difficult as we think. It just needs a very careful handling of the situation, and it needs your time, and it needs a lot of patience. It needs a lot of attention. So it's not really very difficult that way. So before we close this discussion, I will quickly wrap this up with the last 1 minute comments from our guests. So Ashmita, here we go. It's your turn.
Yeah, you have summed it up absolutely properly. The one thing we have to remember is whatever we have discussed so far, almost all of us parents, we know this, right? It's not that we have given you certain information that you didn't know at all, but at times knowing things doesn't help much. At times, keeping on listening to this, that also helps. So you all are invited to India Educates, right? You come, see the videos, and get to know and talk with other parents the positive things. And as many times as you talk about it, as many times you would want to do the same thing with your kids, right? The positive things. Because all this, whatever we have discussed, is already there in your storehouse. The only thing that you have to practice this, and for practicing it, you have to keep on exchanging similar ideas with other parents, with some group. Go to parenting blogs. So give some more time. This is a 20-year project, remember.
Yeah, this is a 20-year project. That's very well put. All right. So Santosh, I guess there is some connection problem, but it will be resolved very soon. And I see there is comment from Bulbul Chaudhary from Chennai, and she writes, "We'll be waiting for more such addas in future. We would love to have such addas indeed, but we need your support. We need your support in terms of spreading the information. We need in support in terms of sharing your ideas with us, that what kind of discussion you want us to initiate. We would love to do that. And trust me, we have such wonderful, enthusiastic friends like Ashmita, Santosh, and many more. So Santosh, your last comment of this evening. Santosh is having issues with his connection. I guess let us wait for a minute. I'm sure he'll be able to connect again. Yeah, Santosh is there. Santosh, your last comment for this episode? Santosh, can you hear me? I guess some major network issue there. So we will end today's episode. And trust me, I had lots of uh, uh, wow moments in this episode, because there had been so many ideas shared which we already know, but we have to practice them. That's very important. And uh, yeah, I would like to thank all our viewers as well. Thanks for your patience. 1 minute 20, 1 hour 20 minutes. Santosh is again there. uh, no, I guess he's going to have trouble again. So no, Santosh is there. Okay, let me try. Santosh, can you hear? Hey, Santosh. No, the connectivity problem continues. So thank you, Ashmita, for your time.
Thank you so
It
much.
was lovely having you on our show. And this is very special. This is our first education Adda with Pratik in this channel. So this will always be very special. And we would love to have you with us in many more episodes.
I definitely love to, because this is something so close to my heart. I strive for my kids and kids at my school and kids at my home. So it's a fun journey. So I just want all of us to enjoy this journey.
Great. And a last comment from Rupa Banerjee. Uh, she says, I missed quite a lot, but will surely watch this video as I am in constant fight with my 11-year-old son. Thank you so much. I'm sure this episode will give you a lot of insights, interesting insights, which we can very easily put into practice. So thank you so very much, and thank you for all your love to India Educates and supporting us. Bye. Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good night.